G'day viewers, it's Ol74 here. I'm going to be taking you on a bit of a virtual tour today of Sydney using Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 with ORBX add-on and also Fly Tampa's Kingsford Smith Airport. So without further ado, we're going to take off. We've got a bit of a nasty crosswind happening, which is going to make this somewhat challenging, but let's see how we go. I've had easier takeoffs, but never mind. So Kingsford Smith Airport was named after Charles Kingsford Smith, who was a famous pre-World War II Australian aviator. I believe he was the first to fly from the United States to Australia across the Pacific. And we are only a few kilometres away from where Captain Cook first set foot ashore in Australia. So as you can see, the modelling for Kingsford Smith Airport is absolutely amazing. I've been there many a times and flown in and out of the airport many times, and it really does give you a feeling of actually being there. Right down to the detail of the heliport, which we'll swing around and fly over now. So there it is, that's the heliport that I was referring to. Now we'll come around and have a look at Port Botany, which is New South Wales's biggest port, where nearly all the container ships come and go from here. Again, as you can see, the detail is absolutely amazing. The colour of the shipping containers is spot on. Yeah, again, really gives you a feeling of actually being here. So we're going to come around to the left now, and we're heading over to the famous Bondi Beach. Sydney's actually in the midst of a COVID lockdown at the moment, so this is about the only way that you'll be able to get out and see Bondi Beach today. Should also point out, I also have a civilian shipping mod loaded in as well, which puts some of the sea traffic that you see out there in the ocean. I'm also using real-world weather settings, so this is pretty much what we can see in Sydney at the moment, give or take. I actually live a little way out from the city centre, but yeah, it feels pretty right, the lighting and the cloud cover.
X-ray Golf Sierra, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Sydney Tower Robin Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra frequency change.
So, Bondi Beach, we should be coming up on it shortly, I think. Looks like a bit of a cruise liner off the coast there as well. Wouldn't be too many of those around Sydney at the moment. If I'm not mistaken, this is Bondi Beach in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Not far off, it looks pretty good compared to my memory of it the last time I was there. So now we're going to head over to the Sydney CBD. The buildings off to my left are Bondi Junction, which is fairly big shopping centre, apartment blocks and that sort of thing. Currently flying over Sydney's eastern suburbs. Pretty expensive real estate around there. So let's find these two stadiums. Okay, so off to my right, the stadium on the right is the Sydney Football Stadium, home of the Sydney City Roosters rugby league team, and next door to that stadium is the SCG, the Sydney Cricket Ground. The green roofed buildings there is the members stand, I believe, and it looks pretty, again it looks really accurate to how the thing looks in real life. It's a pretty good representation. You can see the cricket pitch in the middle there. Again, not much happening there, I guess, because of the lockdown, so moving right along. Bit of a dodgy frame rate there. So this is Sydney, and again, a just absolutely phenomenal level of detail here. We might slow her down a little bit so we can have a bit of a look. So dead ahead is St Mary's Cathedral, next door to Hyde Park there. And then if we look off to our left, just in there, that's the cenotaph, which is where we remember our war dead. And off to the right here, the warships that you can see, that is a naval base at Woolloomooloo. I'm pretty much currently flying over the top of the Sydney Botanic Gardens. Just want to point out one little inaccuracy is the container ships in Sydney Harbour. Sydney Harbour is no longer a working port, really. You won't see too many large container ships or anything like that in the harbour anymore. That little island in the middle there is Fort Denison. That was built at a time when it was a fairly new English colony, and they were worried about French attacks and that sort of thing, so they built that fort in the middle of the harbour to hopefully take on any French warships that may choose to attack. So we'll just come back over here for a minute. So that tall, thin building that you see in front of us with a red Westfield sign, that is Centrepoint. That's the tallest building in the Sydney CBD. And beneath that, again, there's like a Westfield shopping centre underneath. Come around to the right, and what you see just there, the clock tower, that is Central train station. That's the biggest train station in Sydney. Pretty faithfully recreated there. Absolutely looks like the real thing. And as we come around to the right, bridge that you see in front of you there, that's the Anzac Bridge. One of a few bridges that cross parts of the harbour and that sort of thing. At the base of the Anzac Bridge to your right is the Sydney Fish Markets. That's that blue building there. Pretty busy around Christmas time. I think it's open till the early hours of the morning at Christmas time so people can get their orders. So we're going to swing around here and we're going to have a look at Darling Harbour, which again is an absolutely faithful recreation of how I remember it. Pretty ordinary frame rate. I think it's because I'm recording. I did a bit of a run through before this video and the frame rate was pretty smooth. So as you come around here, you've got the Bounty, HMS Bounty replica, which is the sailing ship. And you've got a submarine and a destroyer. They're all part of the Maritime Museum. And then you've got a bit of a shopping centre there. Sofitel Hotel, there's a casino. What I'm going to try and show you next, this will get really hairy trying to fly this thing in between the buildings, but I want to point out the Queen Victoria building, which again has been modelled absolutely beautifully. It gets really difficult to get in there. This game really needs helicopters big time. I'd be much happier doing this in a helicopter, but anyway, we shall proceed. So coming around here, might get the flaps down because we're going to be flying pretty slow. Now if we look down below here somewhere, we're going to see the Queen Victoria building in all its glory, and there it is. Okay, I'll just bank to the right and then to the... That's it below there. Try and get a better view. That's it. Beautifully modelled again, with the town hall right next to it. The town hall's the one with the clock tower on it. Queen Victoria building's like got a lot of expensive designer shops and that sort of stuff, so it's a pretty exclusive sort of place to go shopping. So that tall building you see just there off to my right, that is Barangaroo, and eventually there may one day be a Crown Casino in there, but they're having a bit of regulatory problems getting it open, but that's it in all its glory. And of course, dead ahead you see the Sydney Harbour Bridge, completed I think it was in the 1920s. Paul Hogan of Crocodile Dundee fame used to be a bridge painter, so he used to do maintenance painting on the Harbour Bridge. And we've got Luna Park there, off to my left with the Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel's turning and everything. Again, amazing recreation of the theme park. This is North Sydney that we're just going to sort of do a bit of a loop over. North Sydney tends to be more, not too many tourist attractions in there. It's really just a business area, pretty much, with office blocks. And as we come around, so I believe the ship that's docked at the ship liner terminal is St Mary's. Sorry, St Mary, Queen Mary II. Having a bit of trouble getting my words out today. And that's Circular Quay, which is the main ferry station for Sydney ferries. And over here is the Rocks, which I'm currently flying over. That's the oldest part of Sydney. There's a few buildings that date back to the very earliest of the original colony. And as we come over here and off to the left there, somewhere there on the coast is the Prime Minister's residence when he's in Sydney, called, I think it's Kirribilli House from memory. So he gets a pretty good view of Sydney. I wouldn't mind having that as a viewpoint for the fireworks at New Year's Eve. We got ourselves a Manly ferry there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a tour of the Sydney CBD anyway. You'll find that the ORBX add-on, I think, adds detail out as far as Parramatta, but I think that's all we're going to cover off today. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're locked down in Sydney, I suppose it's a chance to maybe get out and see a part of Sydney that we're not allowed to get out and see. Yeah, and hope you join me again next time. Goodbye for now.